Okay, gang, I'm going to try this again. This time I gave up on my phone and went to a video camera, and I got a battery charge for it now. I think I've got decent lighting. So I've got one of my, here's a inexpensive, QRP worthy, it's like $15 iron off of Amazon. I actually like this iron. It's got a nice replaceable tip. Comes with a whole bunch of spares. Comes with a stand, little sponge which I throw away. It's got a temperature gauge. You can lower it up. It can't go that high though. 480 I think is where it tops out. I think that's as high as it goes. But for the most part, that will work. It says on the back, it says it's an 80-watt iron, but they lie like a rug. I put it on a kilowatt meter, and it was, if it was 27 watts, that would be stretching it. I think it's about a 25-watt iron, to tell you the truth. But it works pretty good for doing QRP kits, especially in the case of this particular kit that does not have a big ground plane on it. I mean, there is a big ground plane on the board. Where in the heck is the board? Where's the board? Where's the board? Okay, here's the board. So you can see it has a big ground plane on it. But wherever I've got something connected to the ground plane, I use little rays so that it doesn't soak up a ton of heat. So you can actually solder it with a small pencil iron. So here's the actual board for the main board, and here's the band module. This is the oscillator band module. So it contains the parts that change with the frequency, and of course the crystals. Now, you can find the information in the regular rOCKMITE Builder's Guide. There's the list of materials for the band-specific components. Because this is a rOCKMITE. All I've done is redistribute the parts that are band-specific onto band modules so that you can change them. That way you can just go from 40 meters to 20 meters in a matter of changing two modules. So you can use the same kit. So this is the actual documentation for the rOCKMITE, and I'm just going by the 40 meter band-specific parts. And I see on the oscillator board, I can see C1, C2, C10, 11, 12. So I look at the chart and I see C1, C2, C10, 11, and 12. So I know 47 and 68. So I've got 3 47s and 2 68s. The two crystals, the same crystal. This is a 7030. And I've got the 3-pin header and the 2-pin header. And I've got the Zener diode that all go on that board. So I'm going to start by just putting... I probably should back off just a little bit, I think. Okay. All right. So I'm going to put in the C1, C2, and C10. Okay. Let's see. This is upside down. So here's C1, C2. Oops, I better double check that. Picked it up on the wrong pile. There's a C2 right there. 47. And here's the last of the 47 is C12. So here's C12. Just bend those leads over a little bit. I don't bend them right down on the board, just enough to keep them from falling out. So now I'm putting in 10, 11, which are the 68s. So here go the 68s. Okay, so there's all the capacitors. Now I'm going to put the board down. I'm going to move these parts around a little bit out of the way. And I'm going to set this board down using the 2 crystals as spacers to hold the board up off the bench, so that I can, so it's not all wobbly. So I can come in. I'm going to clean the tip of my iron. Put a little bit of solder on it. This is a brand new iron. I just took it out of the packaging. and I did a little bit of cleaning on it with some tip cleaner, and then okay, I'll go off to this side right here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, there's 3 of them. I'll go on the left hand side of these 2. 1, 2. I'm going to turn the board around so I can work on the left hand side again, because I have a natural, I'm right-handed, so I'm coming in from the right, so I'll solder on the left side of these 2 again. 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so there are, now I can inspect these and see if I think I like all the solder points. So I'll get my cutters and cut the leads off, flush cutters, so I can cut them right down to the nub. Remember to put your finger over it so that the thing doesn't go flying, the thing that you cut off, the little piece of lead. It just stays put underneath your finger or your thumb, and you can drop it down on the table. Of course, if you're doing this around your house or a hotel or whatever, you might want to just make sure you got a nice clean little pile of those things so that you can clean up afterwards. Don't let them go flying all over the place, and don't let them go down the floor. So there we go. I've got 5 capacitors on that board now. Probably the next best thing to do would be, I'll do the crystals. I'm going to mount them so that the lettering is up. It'll be easier to see these things. I'll put them in about 1/8 of an inch off the board and bend them over so that they're in line with the board. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now flip them over, lay the board down, and make them nice and neat again. And I'll clean my tip. Add a little bit of solder. Am I still on screen? Yes, I am. I'll zoom in a little bit here. Let's see. Whoops, wrong way. I'll move this over a little bit so it's centered. Okay, here we go. I'll do the 2. Nope, I didn't catch it. Okay, there we go. Get the other side. This one sort of moved on me, the second one. I'll just make sure I like it. Okay. And again, I'm going to pick it up and inspect all the solder joints. And if I don't like one, I can just hold on to the crystal and do a little reflow on this guy right here, just to show you. I mean, I'm happy with it, but I'm just going to do just a little reflow, and everything's okay. All right, so there's 2 crystals. So I will cut those leads off. Okay, and we're doing all right. So now we got to do the 3-pin header coming in from the bottom, and the 2-pin header coming in from the bottom. And I'll set that down. And I'm going to look for something, anything around the bench. Here's the top of my tip cleaner. That's still a little on the tippy side, but that's okay. I'll show you. Just to stand it up and make sure those things are still coming through the holes, I'm going to pick one on the bottom edge and just solder 1 pin on each connector. Okay, now as I said, this thing is not the right height, so it's a little tippy, and I don't like the angle that is. So I can see this thing is not perpendicular, so I can hold on to the other two. I'm going to hold on with my fingernail, and I'm going to reflow that first pin while I'm pushing the connector up and straight. And I'll do it there. Oops, I just touched it. A little hot. So again, I'm going to hold on to the other side of where I'm working. Okay, I just pushed it in a little bit, so that wasn't quite all the way in. So now I can lean it on there, and I don't care about the lean because I'm pretty well straight with this. So I'll just do the other pins. You can see it moves around. Now, you can use an aid to help with that thing, make it a little bit heavier. And let's see what I got here in my little box. There are all kinds of things you can use. I'll go back to my patented pair of pliers with a rubber band on it, and I can just go ahead and I can grab that top of that connector and set it down. Now I always have, those are my favorite pliers, and I always have two sets. One I normally have a rubber band on and one I don't, but I'm going to put a rubber band on the second one. Now this is how it would work if you don't have a fancy let me get that. Come on. Oh, no wonder it fell out. Huh. When I reflowed it, I guess I didn't get that thing in there right. It fell out. No wonder there was nothing to grab. Okay, I guess I have to reflow that all over again. Okay. If that's the way it's gonna be. So I'm gonna hold it. I got a little bit of a plug on that first pin that I soldered in, and it just didn't flow. So I'm going to hold it so it wants to go in that pin. I'm going to hit it from the back side, that pin or that pad, and there it is. It's back in again. Okay. So you can see I had my fingernail on the other side of that thing. Now I'll hold it back down, and I'll get that guy for sure. And then now, whoops, geez, it came on again. Boy. Well, this is not a very good video now. I've flubbed this connector twice. I'm going to do this again. I'm going to put my fingernail on the other side, and I'm going to hit that. Okay. And I'm going to do it again while I'm pushing up and making it square. Okay, that's not bad. But I'm going to push down on it now. I'm holding the board square. Okay. Gosh darn it. It better be good now. Okay. So let me put this up. I'm going to clear away all this debris here. Wipe it into a pile. I'm going to clamp the connector on that side. I'm going to clamp the connector on this side. Turn it over, and now it's very stable. I can push it down. Looks good. I've got that one pin soldered in there, so I'm going to do all the other ones. And because that first pin was kind of flaky, after I get all these other ones done, I'll go back and I'll hit those first 2 pins once again. Okay, so that's almost everything on the band module. All we got to do now is put on the diode. This is a Xena diode. It's a 5231 according to the sheet. If you look at it, it says D5. And D5 is a, whoops, 5236. Good thing I looked at it. Okay, 5236. So I have to dig deep and find that other one. Did I get that right? Okay. Shoot. Now I got to go back and find my magnifying glass again. Where'd it go? Where'd my magnifier go? So I just had. Oh, there it is, right here. Okay, here it is. Okay, what do we got here? Yeah, that's the 31. So it must be, there are 4 Xeners in the 40 meter. Look at this one, 5236. Okay, here's the 5236. Alright, I'll put that one over with the other parts. Here's the 5236, and the way you bend those is the body is in the round part, and the bar is where it has the black bar on the end. That's up in the air. So I'm going to use my fingernail to bend it so I don't stress the glass case. Bend it into a hairpin and put it in the 2 pins that it goes in. Set it down